well-appointed interior, civilization is never all that far away. The all-new 4Runner from Toyota.
Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces InfiniTread, the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season InfiniTread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Wow! Save up to 40% on selected Goodyear tires through May 4th. Get special purchase savings at participating Goodyear locations. And ask about our T-Metric radio, starting as low as $19.99. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Hi, I'm Buddy Parrott. You may not know it, but radiators can build up rust and sludge that will cause leaks and cooling system failure. So, if you don't want to end up like this fella, then use Restorer's Radiator Restorer, Sealer, Conditioner, and Stop Leaks Fast. Radiator Restorer keeps radiators clean. It's environmentally safe and works with regular antifreeze. Don't be left behind. With Radiator Restorer, you'll stay on the road. Stop leaks in seconds with Radiator Restorer.
Have you heard what Jim's driving?
What's he got now?
You should see this thing.
What an incredible machine.
Sleek, aerodynamic.
Fast?
Oh yeah, that baby really moves.
So what kind of engine does he have in that thing anyway?
Nuclear reactor.
You'd be amazed at what teenagers are driving these days.
Right full rudder, steady course 355, helm on.
For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
I knew at 5 years old that something great was going to happen to me.
The past, present, and future of women's tennis when Nike presents A Passion to Play next Sunday on ABC.
Well, here's the way the PPG point standings are in the championship right now, with Jimmy Vasser coming into this race leading Scott Pruitt by a mere 5 points. And then a very tightly bunched group all the way down to the current race leader, Jill DeFerrin. So the points fight very definitely on here. And as we've seen so many times, guys have been well behind at the midpoint in the season and still come back to a championship. There's our Toyota pace car. By the way, the pace lap, we didn't get a chance to mention it, was driven by football great Walter Payton. Now we're back actually to the regular pace car drivers in the series who are professional drivers. So that's Supra out in front of the field. Now here's the accident with Rahal and Zanardi.
See, Alessandro, he wasn't there. I don't think Rahal saw him. It comes back to a little bit of what we were talking about before about the mirrors. Don't forget, these cars are designed by aerodynamicists. They want to get it as sleek as they can. They want to make those things hanging out, i.e. the mirror, as small as possible. You see Robbie Gordon's right there. Looks like they've made it bigger. And I also believe that Robbie has knocked the one on the left side off for it's askew. He was trying to adjust it going out of the pits.
All right, let's go to Gary Gerald.
Quick word on DeFerrin. It was a 14-second stop. They did add to get downforce at the front end of the car. They gave him a radio report to make sure he got behind Teo Fabi on the track or he'd get a black flag. They complied with that, no problem. Others in this area, Greg Moore, the reason he dropped back early, had an electrical problem. They think they've fixed that all right. No change for Christian Fittipaldi. Michael Andretti also added some wing. Jack?
16-second for Vasser. A wing adjustment for Scott Pruitt. And Danny Sullivan, you're correct. They're going to bring Robbie Gordon in the next stop. They'll change that left side mirror.
So as they come back, the green flag, the first full course yellow of the day. It is actually, of course, DeFerrin that is the leader of the race, but he is third back in the order. Cars in front of him are laps down. Parker Johnstone had a great stop, of course, aided somewhat by the yellow flag. He went into the pits in 6th. He came out in 4th. So it's DeFerrin, Vasser, Paul Tracy, Parker Johnstone, and Scott Pruitt, the top 5. And Pruitt right there working on Johnstone.
Yeah, but that's one of those sucker spots. You got to be very careful there because you think you can get by him. There's just not enough room. He looks like he's making a move down the inside, but he's going to probably get blocked by that other car.
It's going to get tight here.
Look at this.
Whoa, look at Pruitt. Comes across in front of Moore, tries to get Parker. Wow.
Great racing, and right behind him, of course, is Christian Fittipaldi.
So everybody that matters in that battle's right together now, nose to tail. DeFerrin pulling away from Vasser just a little bit.
Fittipaldi got underneath it. He got underneath Greg Moore in one of those spots that you shouldn't take a chance. And look at that, he pulled it out. And Little Al is stuck right there, right behind Greg Moore in that blue car. He's going to make a go at the end of the straightaway.
And the straightaway at the end, turn 1, is definitely an area you can make a pass in, though everybody proves me wrong. That's cool.
Well, don't forget, too, they're also thinking about points. And Al Unser Jr. is a smart guy. He didn't win those championships by being foolish. He's going to make his pass when he can.
LeBaron at the front, then Vassar, then Paul Tracy, John Stone, Pruitt, Christian Fittipaldi, Moore, and Al Unser Jr. This whole group that we're looking at. What do you think? Got one shot down that straightaway, and they said, Al, let's rest one or two, huh?
Might have done, but I tell you got a great group in there, a lot of young guys, aggressive, and they see that opportunity. They know how tough it is to pass. They don't want to give it up.
And
what a
Lawson
group right
actually
there.
at the front of the order, though he's a lap down. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Well, here's Alex Zanardi. Alex, I know this is great disappointment. What happened?
Well, I was following Bobby for 2 laps, and actually I was not trying to overtake him, but the blue flags were out, and he braked much early, so I thought I misinterpreted what he did. I thought he was trying to let me go, and I went into the inside, but it was a misunderstanding.
Can you tell us about conditions of your car? Did you think you had the power that you could win this race if you were able to stay out of trouble?
It's difficult to say, because now I'm here talking to you. I should be out there fighting for the win, but I think...
Whoa! Greg Moore.
Greg Moore.
Greg Moore gets into the barrier big time in the same kind of trap. And looks like Christian, or looks like Emerson, maybe.
Emerson drove over his wheel that was sitting out in the side. I saw him try to go around. That looks like, look, I think that's Christian Fittipaldi. He's coming over to have a word.
Several red cars. And the safety team is already there.
Well, they look like they're having more than a couple of words there. Looked like Christian was maybe giving him a shove. They had to separate him. Yes, that's Christian. He's hot.
Oh, Christian's furious.
That Brazilian temper. I saw earlier that Greg Moore in the corner previous went around the outside of him, and I guess they didn't have room when they got up the other side.
Well, the IndyCar safety team separates the two. Greg Moore, who is privately a very mild-mannered driver, but hot on the race cars, and Christian Fittipaldi, who is absolutely furious with this situation, wisely walks over behind the wall, still angry. And Emerson Fittipaldi indeed was also through that accident, and he's out. The right front wheel cut off the car. We have a full course yellow for the second time of the day. Boy, one very angry guy. Let's go up and take a look at this. This is from overhead.
Okay, see Greg on the outside around that red car, gets around the outside. They come back, and oh, it looks like, well, I thought Christian kind of cut in on him a little bit there.
Now watch, let's see.
And they tangled. Now his wheel's out there. Hits the wall there, and I think you'll see a wheel come off. Yeah, there it was. It'll go out and it'll sit in the track, and it looks like Emerson comes alongside somebody else and runs over that wheel.
And Christian goes over to talk to him.
He's going to have a word, grabs him. What are you doing?
Moore steps out the other side and almost pulls him across the car.
Walks away. You know, that's
a smart thing to do.
It is a smart thing to do, but I can also understand everybody's tempers are hot. Christian had made a couple of good moves and was moving up.
So there's the disabled car, and of course Emerson Fittipaldi got into this, and we got two angry people, one a little bit more angry than the others, and two Fittipaldis out of the race on the same thing. Here we go. It's the same thing again.
Now see, Christian's gone on the inside, and Greg Moore's around the outside in the blue car. Christian's in the red one. They're going up. Now this track goes back to the left just here, and Christian thinks he's got enough room. Again, maybe a blind spot, and they just touch. Greg's got nowhere to go. The wall, the curb, everything's right there. Christian tries to turn in. Boom, they touch.
Now let's see if we can watch as the rest of the cars come through, because we only got a glimpse of Emerson Fittipaldi as he came through here and got into the debris from Christian's car.
Right, I think that's actually Greg Moore's tire sitting right out there in the track, almost by those two black spots.
Let's go down to Jack Arute.
Let's see if we can get a first-person account of that accident from Emerson Fittipaldi. You were involved.
Well, Jack, I was just coming in on the corner when I saw the crash happen, and one of the wheels was on my way, and I couldn't avoid. Just drove over the wheel and banged on the suspension. That's a shame.
You were just running your type of race. We were monitoring the radios, and you seemed very comfortable in the car, and it was going to be one of these where you thought the race would come to you.
I'm sure it was going to happen, and the car was good, the brakes was good, the engine was good, everything was running beautiful.
And then your nephew was also involved. You probably didn't get a chance to see it, but he went over and not only had words, but I understand that maybe he had a little bit more than words with Greg Moore.
Well, I don't know what happened, and that's a shame what happened. And, you know, being out of the race is the 4th race now that I hope from now on Nazareth will be running strong and be the end of the race.
Well, you saw from the overhead video that Emerson Fittipaldi is pretty lucky to be there because he really smacked into that tire off of Greg Moore's car. Watch this as he comes through here. It'll be the red car coming down. The wheel assembly, not just the tire. That's heavy.
It's got everything out there. See, you know, that's what threw him. The car in front of him moved right out of the way. Emerson never saw the wheel and ran right over it. That's a pity.
Yeah, he was tucked in right behind Raul Boisel. So we're under a full course yellow. Here's the lineup as they are. The Farron, Vassar, Tracy, and John Stone at the top. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your ABC station.
When cars raced at an awesome 5 miles per hour, Mobil Oil was there. When a race car broke 100, Mobil was in it. Mobil was in the winner of the first race across America. And since then, Mobil has been in more Indy 500 winners than any other oil in the history of Indy. So if you think that all oils are alike, think about something. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted. Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
Monday, wish you could unlock the secrets to happiness? Science has found keys, and they're not what you think. Now, John Stossel shows you who has it and how you can get it. Give us an hour. It might just change your life. The Mystery of Happiness, Monday on ABC.
For $10 million, name the show that's coming back to ABC Wednesday.
The Drew Carey Show!
Oh, I'm sorry. The correct answer is The Drew Carey Show.
Got Drew? Wednesday after Ellen.
We'd like to take a few seconds to show you something you don't see very often. Mechanics working on a Honda.
The Men's Shoe Warehouse is now open to the public 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where you'll find the biggest brand name shoes carried by department stores, but at warehouse prices. We've got the largest selection in men's shoes you've ever seen. Designer snakeskin, $55. Wide widths, $55. Dress shoes, $49. We have sandals and lots more. Check out our variety of shoes for as low as $29. Men's Shoe Warehouse Outlet, 99 Millbar Boulevard, 1 block south of Adventureland in Farmingdale, Long Island.
We're your lucky number in Channel 7, your lottery station.
You know, this week, we got a good view of what will be the California Speedway. Not far from here, Roger Penske. There is Bill France Jr. They were all part of it. That's what the site used to be, and here is what it will be by next year. One magnificent racetrack. Now, about that accident earlier, let's go down to Jackaroo.
Well, let's check in with Greg Moore. Greg, give us your version of what happened out there.
Well, Kirsten got slowed down in turn 6, and I went around the outside of him, and I was ahead of him coming out of the turn, and then we went side by side into 7, and you know, I had the inside line, and I guess he just didn't want to give it up, and you can't go side by side through that turn, and you know, we just came together. He chopped in front of me a little bit, and we came together, and it's just a racing accident, I guess.
A little bit shocked what happened after the accident?
Well, I guess he was just a little excited about the whole thing, and you know, we'll go into Nazareth where I know the whole Players Foresight team can win that race, and you know, it's too bad here because I think we had a good chance, but you know, it's too bad.